Live once again, and welcome to another stream. And today, as you can see by the title, we have something which is way more instructive than me playing Blitz. So it will be another GM training rapid match against my mysterious opponent who I have already played and streamed once. So yeah, we're off 4 games, 15 plus 10, the standard rapid time control. And yeah, first game, I'm black, I'm playing the Queen's Gambit. Let's see if my opponent will go for knight f3. The exchange variation, maybe bishop g5. Okay, so knight f3. Of course, there are 10 different options now. There is knight d7, there is bishop b4, there goes, and there is a6, there is Stanislav c6, there is Vienna d takes c4, there is the new h6 stuff. Have I missed something? Of course, bishop b7, the most standard one. Hello there to Astra. Yeah, I appreciate that. This is the new camera, right? No. Decent lighting is what makes much of a difference. Camera is not new, Skrill. Let me see which one I want to play. I also can play the c5, go for the semi-Tarrasch. Maybe just knight bd7. Play it very slowly. This is probably the biggest tabia after move 4 in chess, because there are 6 or 7 good options for black, which can be played normally. I really have to know everything. Slav is your favorite line? You mean semi-Slav or just normal Slav with d5, c6? Okay, my opponent goes for bishop f4. Now we'll take this. Yeah, e3. And now there is again a choice. You can go knight b6, then the line goes bishop c4, knight c4. Sorry, my arrows are really screwed up. Knight b6, bishop c4, knight c4, queen a4 check, c6 takes, and then knight d5, and then you play on. White's supposed to be somewhat better there. Once I played in a tournament game bishop here, which is also a viable alternative. And there is something else which exists, and that is the move b5. That's a newer move. Of course, engine influenced with bishop b4. But considering that I don't really know that well what I'm doing there, I'm going to stick with bishop d6. Okay, semi-Slav. I might play the semi-Slav then next move, even though that's something I have never tried in classical chess. But I might try it here in rapid in game when I'll be playing game 2 with black. Well, okay. First of all, we have this game with black, and then we have a white game. But c5 playable? I don't think so here because of knight b5, and then there's some big problems. Maybe even there. There's some knight d5. This bishop g5 move I remember vaguely. This is supposed to be how you should play. Okay, I will go h6 first. If he takes, then I will at least get the bishop pair. So bishop h4 is the most likely option. Now I again need to do something clever. Now c5 is surely a move. Well, my opponent did spend a move on bishop f4, bishop g5, bishop h4. I'm also curious about what's the position like if I just play for e5, something like c6, castles, bishop c4, c6, and then I want to go e5. So it doesn't seem that bad. Maybe I should just castle and play like that. Knight b6 is again an option, bishop c4 takes, queen a4, c6 takes, but then at least I think he has a better version than he would be having in the main line. It does seem like a waste of time, but this pin is relatively uncomfortable, and my bishop on d6 can be exposed. For example, e4, e5 is going to be stronger, knight e4 also. So this is still theory, by the way. Okay, I will castle. I'm expecting my opponent to take, and then I will choose my poison, let's say. Will I go for c5? Will I go for e5? Will I go for c6 and e5? Will I go for a6, b5 maybe? There are several tempting options. What happens after c5? I just want to keep things very solid. Knight b5, bishop b7. Yeah, that might be a bit uncomfortable. Can go with just bishop e7 maybe. c5, knight b5, bishop e7, bishop g3. a6, knight d6, not a problem. Knight c7, I have rook a7, and then I'm threatening b5, so it should be fine, I think. If it goes knight e4, then I can go back, I think. And for example, bishop f6, knight f6, knight c5, I can take bishop c5, takes, give a check, and recapture. Seems fine to me. So probably he's going to just castle, and then I can play a6 and... No, I can't play a6 because then there's maybe knight e4. This is the problem with the bishop and d6. This is why all of this makes sense for white. Okay, how to play this actually? Maybe I should start with a6, then I have b5 and bishop b7 as an option too, but he'll have some e4 ideas. a6... Okay, still, let's play a6. Kind of like it. I will... After c5, it will stop knight b5 ideas, and this is a normal development in the future. Okay, my opponent plays a4 relatively quickly, suggesting that all of this still might be opening theory. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Now I can also play b6, bishop b7. b6, I'm a bit concerned about e4. I have to admit. Bishop b7, e5, and then something. Position might be good for me if I can go, for example, knight h7, takes, and then I'm in time with bishop b7 and c5, then I'll have a good position though. Go c5, d4, takes. Probably he would take with the pawn there. But the queen is also possible. Yeah, crossroads here for black. I'm burning quite a lot of time. But I feel like it's important to find the right idea here. Is it to play with b6 or not? Also a problem could be bishop b7, not e5, but just some other move. Then after bishop b7, just hold the center, they'll go c5, then maybe you can go d5 in the future. Okay, let's try this. It does feel best. This is still not a problem as far as I can see with bishop f6, takes, knight c5, bishop c5, and then this queen a5 check. And yeah, for example, if he takes dc, of course he loses the knight. If he takes knight f6, well, then I can even take bishop f6 and queen f6, and this will be covered. The whole point of all of this Queen's Gambit decline structures, it always seems like white has something because he has a developed bishop, black doesn't have a developed bishop, and this structure is usually symmetrical after these get traded off. But in general, it's not always that easy because this bishop is not in a great place. It would be much better for white if it would be on f3 on this long diagonal. And yeah, white needs 2 more moves for this. So black is usually in time with b6, bishop b7 in various structures. My opponent might be considering d5, but if I have knight b6 there with takes, this should be at least fine. Are you a King's Indian player? Yeah, I am a King's Indian player. Especially recently, that's by far my main opening against d4. It was in 2023 Classical Chess. But yeah, in Blitz and Rapid I've lost some games because it's a hard opening and I usually need my calculation and time for that. So in Over the Board Chess I've gotten good results with it. And yeah, Blitz and Rapid hasn't been going my way recently. The King's Indian. Yeah. Well, okay, I've tried almost every opening which exists, as you guys know. Okay, my opponent took a first long think in the game, considering his options. And he decides to castle slowly. That was one of the expected moves. So now I can take this, which I originally planned, but I can also play b6, because then it's not, knight e4 is no longer a problem, because this is protected against. So for example, it takes, bc5, then I think it's fine, even though I will have destroyed pawn structure, I'll have the b file, and this bishop would be placed well here. But the problem with b6 is that maybe then he can go d5, and then after takes, yeah, it's not really what I want, because after knight d5, the pin remains. That's why I would prefer my bishop here, and not on d6. So I can retreat the bishop. Maybe it's one of the options. If I want to exploit the bishop being on d6, maybe I can take. I don't know if he's going to take with the pawn. That also makes a lot of sense. Even though I'll get in knight b6. Yeah, okay. I should not burn that much time, but what can you do? Bishop b7. What's his next move? Queen e2, maybe? Maybe queen e2. And then he would try to take with the pawn, knight b6, bishop b3 or something, bishop b7. Game goes on. Might have this a5 move, that's why I'm not that happy with it. Yeah, takes. Maybe I can also play moves like queen c7. Doesn't feel that dumb, I think, but rook c1 is going to come, so I don't think that's to be desired. I also play in a bit more ambitious way with b6, d5, and knight e5. Then he would probably have to take knight e5, but there is bishop b2 also. My plan was takes, bishop b6, and when everything gets traded off, this bishop in e5 seems like a good piece on the diagonal. Let's see, knight e5, bishop b2. Yeah, I don't like it that much. Should be 7, d6, f is 6. Okay, let's try it. I suppose let's try to make things interesting. I don't think this is the best move by any means, but at least it will be interesting. I have a huge time disadvantage. That's a problem, of course. Hopefully it can be dealt with. Yeah, I don't know any other move except knight e5 and bishop e2. Oh, almost pre-moved something. So even though we'll have this weakness on e6, I don't know, hopefully my position can still be fine. There is some wild stuff with, for example, takes, queen b3, then there is even bishop h2 in the air. So then I have these 2 pawns hanging, but of course I can go queen d6 or something to defend, and then put the queen on c6, try c4. Okay, let's see what he does. Takes. Now my threat is bishop c3 and d5. So he should do something about that. Probably d6 makes the most sense. I don't know if queen b3, then I have even g5 ideas. With bishop c3 and d5, it doesn't feel that convincing. I mean, this is by far the most logical choice, but at least I get my final piece into the game, even though I'll have a worse structure. Queen taking here was not possible to trade the queens. It's still not possible because he can include bishop f7 with a check. So I have to take f6, but it was my plan anyway. And now we come to this position where he can go something like this. There are some ideas with bishop h2, but I don't think they work, at least not yet. I mentioned them only briefly. My plan would be to play strategically here, not tactically. It would be to go queen d6. I think if rook d1, queen c6, and then try here to create some passed pawn and exploit these 3 against 2. The cost of getting those 3 versus 2 is this weak isolated pawn on a6, but I guess we can live with it, with this knight being here. Would I keep queens on the board if I was playing white? That's a good question, because he can, for example, take, and then play some other move, but I think it's extremely important to keep the queens, actually, because without the queens, this pawn on e6, which is isolated, is going to be it won't be sensed into the game that it's weak and isolated without the queens, and for example here he can immediately attack it if he keeps the queens on the board. And also in the endgame these 3 against 2 would be way easier to exploit them. So I think what my opponent did is absolutely correct. Queen d6 is what I plan to defend and attack and defend. So yeah, I think that's smart. There is a move like bishop f6, of course, but then like even gf is an option as silly as it looks with f5, but I think bishop h2, king h1, rook f6 can also be. No, rook f6, then there is knight e4. Wait, so bishop f6, bishop h2, king h1, gf, that could be considered. But then g3, and then takes, queen g3, there is rook g1. So probably bishop f6, I would just have to play bishop f6 or gf, and if knight e4, then have queen d5. No, queen d5 we don't have because he takes an f6 with a check. Then I have queen c6, knight f6, rook f6, and the game goes on. I'll try again for c4 and stuff. Maybe white's somewhat better. On considering alternatives, he can go some bishop g3. Then I probably should take it. And then there are ideas also with some knight g4, queen e5, queen h5. When the structure is g3, g2, and the knight can come here, that's usually quite dangerous. So that's a possible line. As I said, rook d1. I was planning to go queen c6 because I don't think this works. Check here, and then I don't know what my next move is because my queen is hanging, and he's threatening g3s and all kinds of stuff. So I think rook d1, queen c6 is passed. And then, okay, the game goes on. Don't think my position is that bad. All of this stuff with b6 allowing d5, it's a very risky business. But I wanted to unbalance the game a bit and not just play boring positional suffering with that same structure with ed4, with cd4, ed4 or knight d4. Yeah, smart guy. Secret training is much better than me raging on Title Tuesday due to possible cheaters. This is at least instructive, and that's just funny for the viewers, and I get upset. Of course it's not fair, come on. If you see all of those, like ask Kramnik, for example. Joking, of course. Considering the stream is early in the morning, I'm not expecting a lot of viewers or comments, but at least, for example, the YouTube video on the secret training rapid matches got me quite positive feedback. People liked it, and it's also way more instructive, just casual blitz stuff. My opponent at the crossroads here, he goes here. I mean, I will go queen c6, it was what I planned. Don't think other moves make that much sense. So strategically, it's very clear that I'm going to try for, I don't know if c4, rook b8, b5 first, because the problem with c4 could be queen b4, then maybe he can have some kind of a blockade. I don't know how hard it will be kicking the queen away here from b4, and if I go rook b8, b5, then the pawns hold more squares. It's harder to exploit it. I made my opponent rage quit? Where? I made myself rage quit on Title Tuesdays. No, I didn't quit, but I just lost. I lost everything. I hope instructive chess is helpful, yeah. This game is going to be very interesting to analyze. When I'm playing these matches, I'm always using openings I'm not that familiar with. Of course, because it's training, so it can help me in the future over the board games. But yeah, considering the positions are not that familiar to me, I need to spend more time analyzing the position. And find the right plan. Okay, so now the rook b8 idea runs into this. We're not gonna do that. What's my opponent's plan actually with this? Is it b4? Highly unlikely. Okay, maybe though, but bishop c3. Bishop c3 should be good against it. So, I mean, rook f8 is a move. Don't really want it. I want to play it. I can take here also, because if he takes with the queen, I will take a4. Takes with the pawn. I mean, what's that position about? There is something I like here, actually. Pawn takes, queen e4. Bishop is hanging, so he has to take. I take with the knight. This I like somehow. Takes, c3 is hanging, so he has to defend it either with c4 or with rook c1. Or he can attack with rook b1, but rook b1, rook b8 seems like at least okay. I don't know, I like that. The position looks scary with f4. Okay, but then I will take it. And yeah, my knight will come to e4, so I'm not really afraid of that. Yeah, crossroads again. I'm not sure what the best move is, but I kind of like bishop c3. Huh. Bishop c3, bc. I can also play other moves like b5. Yeah, some rook b8. Just I don't know. Even bishop f6 and queen e4. Then I would take b2. Maybe it's also playable. That knight is not a great piece there. At rook b8 there could be problems, for example takes knight e4. Running here, if rook b if takes, then there's rook d6. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Feels best, so let's play it. And yeah, after this, as I said, maybe b5. b5 is also b5 take. Queen has to go. The queen has to go somewhere to some square, which like e2 or something. And again, get in knight d5 or knight e4. Looks more ambitious than queen e4. Let's see. Queen e4 takes c4, and then go knight c3. Then there is rook d6. We go g5, bishop g3, rook d8. Maybe that, but then he has bishop c7. I don't have to go g5 after c4, I can go some other move. Okay. I can go g5, bishop g3, take, rook d8. That's surely not worse for me. As far as I understand chess, but I don't understand it that well. He can go rook b1 there, and then after rook d6 go rook b3. Okay, I'm burning quite a lot of time. Let's keep the queens on the board. Unsure about the decision. It was not my original decision, but let's try it. At least when the a file opens, this rook will be able to go to a3, and this c3 pawn can be a bit weak in the future. I'm still thinking about whether I was supposed to go queen e4 or not. Okay, well, the past is in the past. Let's focus on the position at hand. If I would be able to have this knight against the bishop, in some lines it could be extremely good, because if the knight comes to d5, for example, with c4, this will be weak in the future, and the bishop doesn't really have it. Needs some more time to enter the game like this. So I would like to keep those minor pieces on the board if I can. But for example, queen e2, yeah, knight d5, c4, there is knight c3, so that would be good, I think. Some queen d3, I can go c4 and then knight d5. Also, it doesn't look bad at all. And when the knight comes to d5, I think I should play this. Rook a3 is also an alternative, but then he can include bishop f6, which I want to avoid. I want to e4. There will always be knight f4. No, wait. Sorry, I'm talking nonsense. If queen e2, I plan knight d5. If this, I plan c4. c4. Yeah, queen g6, there is queen e4. That's surely very good, because then the pawn will be fixed here. Queen d4. Queen d4, knight d5. Then I want rook a3. And I don't think that's bad, because now this would run into c4. That I probably want to avoid. Some moves like b4. And queen e4 is probably okay, but nothing more than okay. Bishop f6, rook d3 takes, rook b1. Yeah. Okay, let's try to be ambitious here. So on queen d6, then I can trade, go knight d4, rook e6, knight c3, and then these two passers should be extremely hard to deal with. So he goes queen d4 as I expected. And yeah, now I should definitely leave this knight on the board. I move like knight d5. And now this is a weakness. I gave up the square, that's true. Still, this is a big weakness. I forgot about one idea which he has, that's bishop g3 and bishop e5, from where the bishop will be able to attack and defend and be very nicely placed. Yeah. I don't know, maybe my play is too ambitious with c4, maybe I was just supposed to play queen e4, bishop f6, queen d3, and enter this rook endgame. Yeah, he goes for this one. Now, my plan was to go rook a3, I still think it's a good move. To force rook c1, because after this there's knight c3, bishop g7, there's knight e2. So yeah, at least the rook is passive now. I can't make a move like queen b6 to trade the queens, at least not yet, because there's takes and bishop d6, forking my poor rooks. If I don't do that, maybe he'll be able to play e4. Still with this bishop, when it comes there, yeah, my play was too ambitious. No, that's not good. Okay, let's play a prophylactic move, rook f7. First of all, this will be protected. Secondly, I can go queen b6 next move. And then there is no more bishop d6. Yeah, my play was too ambitious. I was supposed to play queen e4 and enter an equal rook endgame. That was way smarter. That was way smarter. This is too ambitious. Now white might be better. Okay, here I planned queen b6. Takes, rook d8, king h7, rook b8, can he play like that? Knight d5, rook b5, no, then there's knight c3, threatening b5 and threatening knight e2. It's probably good. Yeah, I think the queen is the best placed piece for my opponent. Probably need to get rid of it if I can. What's the alternative even? Rerouting the knight to e4 maybe? Maybe that's also interesting. Kind of like it now when I look at it, even though he can play f3. And at least rook d7. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed up. Now I have 1 minute on the clock. Hopefully I didn't blunder anything. When the knight comes here, then I also have options of this, but the move is not only about knight e4, it's also about rook d7, because if I can trade one pair of rooks, then this will be weaker. If he goes some bishop e5, then I don't know, maybe he can do it with knight e4 f3, but at least his king is going to be a bit weaker then. You can imagine some ideas with knight g5, rook f3, or knight f3. Okay, check. I plan to go here, not being afraid of rook d6. Hopefully I'm not blundering some stuff. Because I'm not sure if this check makes any sense. Well, like, what's the point of it actually? The point kind of evades me. Maybe it's just because I'm a bad player. Maybe it's just because I'm a bad player. But yeah, what's the point, really? Rook d6, I mean, you just go queen e4. Not to mention even rook a8 moves are maybe very, very fine. This feels like a mistake on my opponent's part. This I would never have played. He can go some queen d6, then I would have to trade. If he takes with the bishop, then I would go rook b3. Then knight e4, knight d5 next. Feels fine at least. He takes the rook, then there's immediately knight e4, knight c3 stuff. And hello to Shellingford. Battling the anonymous GM? Yeah, exactly. This is at least instructive and fun, not like Title Tuesday, where I have to think about possible cheaters, rage, and everything else. Okay, let's go for this one. 24, like... Okay, let's think. Queen e4 is not the only move, but it threatens... No, it doesn't threaten rook c3. I mean, I wanted to protect this pawn, but I also need this e4 square for the knight. Queen e4... Yeah, what was he going to play? I shouldn't second guess myself. Like, Queen c8 I can take then, because after takes there's no more this. Rook d4. Okay, that feels like a move. I'm happy to see. Even Queen g6 might be fine, or Queen f5 because after Rook f4 I can take. I think. So Queen f5. I mean, it feels like a bear square, but I need to think about Rook f4. Still, I think it's a fine move. Well, why not put it here? Now it's going to come to a scramble again. Okay, Queen d6, threatening my poor rook, which I'm pretty sure, move here. This has not changed. This is still not working. But if he plays a move like h3, then I can go knight e4. So I'm starting to like my position more and more with every move. I think my opponent was very, very ambitious with Queen d8, Rook d6. I don't think it brings him anything. Okay. Queen e5. So Rook c3 now, this is a check. That I don't want to play. And that's actually maybe a clever move. I can go Queen c2 though. Because takes there is mate. So he would have to go Rook f1. Okay, wait. Don't have time. Don't have time. Okay, let's play it. Let's play it in an ambitious way. Oh, this I haven't even seen. Why did I do this then? This was so dumb. Should have done something completely different. But I don't know what though. Position is still solid. Maybe I should have gone knight g4. Can I go knight d5 now? No, not quite. Then I guess I will take and then go here. Knight d5 was probably completely wrong. But okay, knight f4 takes. We have to play on. This pawn is still weak. Should probably go rook b1 now. Then I take c3, he takes b5, but at least you don't have... This is not like... I only have one pawn, and my rook is very out of play here. Let's try to... Okay, he just plays a slow move. I'm quite surprised. I'm kind of surprised by this, but it also has an idea of just bringing the king to e3. Rook d6. I think I can go here and then after rook e6. No, wait. Rook e6, there is rook a3, rook b6, and I can't really make this work. Yeah, that was the point. That's clever. Okay, then I have to defend passively and bring my own king. Bring my own king to the defense first, and then go rook a7. I've had such an amazing position in this game, and I screwed everything up. My favorite time control? Classical chess, surely. But rapid I also like in general. And I hate Blitz and Bullet. Like, I've played it often, but I hate it. Just, especially in everything with no increment, I just don't like. King c5. So now he's allowing me to go forward. I think I should go forward, why not? If here I can give rook c7 check. f4 there is nothing concerning. Okay, this is very weird to me. So what if takes king f4? King d6 here, king d6 here. Feels like I'm the one who is faster. Shouldn't that be true? But maybe he can play rook e2 to cut off my king and then... Okay, never mind, let's go for it. The alternative was b4, by the way, because after takes there was king d4. Then king b5, and wasn't sure what's going on. Okay, he goes for this one. Here takes king d3. This doesn't look good for him. Doesn't look good to me, at least. I think this pawn is going to decide the game. I have two passers, he only has one. How do I play this the smart way? Maybe just take and go rook c1 here. I think just this is fine, because then king somewhere, I go here. And the passer should decide the game. Like, no, I will like, have to give up the rook, but it doesn't matter. I have two passers. Can only give up rook for 1. Okay, finally. Wait. Did Danya just trade me? Why didn't I see that? Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Danya, for the raid. Thank you so much with raiding with a party of 907. Wow. I'm really sorry for not seeing it. I hope you had a great stream, Danya. Yeah, sorry, guys. I was just trying to win that end game. Sorry, guys. I'm playing some Instructor Rapid here. It's not what you're probably used to. It's not Blitzer Bullet. But yeah. Yeah, really sorry for not seeing the raid. Really sorry for not seeing the raid. Pro streamer, at least you got the win. Yeah. Yeah, Team Danya. That's very embarrassing that I didn't see the raid. Okay, which Nither should I go for? Any suggestions in the chat? I'm taking suggestions for the openings. Yeah, my opponent's a Grandmaster, by the way. So, it's not easy to win. English attack, Rook G1, G3. You're here oh, Anjas is here for you. Okay. G3, Bishop G5, Danish Gambit. Oh, there were so many suggestions and only one game. Yeah, G3 has been said twice. Bishop C4, H3. Yeah. Okay, should I go for Knight F3, Knight B3, or Knight G2? All of the moves are possible. Considering my opponent is a good theoretician, I'll play the least theoretical line with Knight F3. Any tips for a Danish Gambit player? I mean, it's surely depends on how strong of a player you are, but it's surely a very decent opening up to some level, and you can win quite a lot of games with it, especially in Blitz and Rapid. Yeah, secret training, because my opponent, nobody knows who my opponent is, and I can't share that information. Yeah, wait, how does this line go, actually? Kind of forgot if it's Knight H4 immediately, or should I go castles first? I think I'm supposed to castle first and then later go Knight H4, Knight F5. Yeah, okay. I mean, 1600, 1700. Well, you just need to build a very nice opening repertoire with white. That's an important step on improvement. Also, studying tactics, I would definitely suggest every day at least spend 20-30 minutes on doing that. Okay, Bishop G5. Here they can't Bishop G5. Take Knight D5. But the problem is that he would of course go Knight D7, and then if I take, he would take with the Knight, and then Knight D5 he would also be able to take, and that's why Bishop G5 is not really an idea here, because if the Knight would come to C6 in all of these Nither structures, if the Knight would come to C6, I would immediately blitz out Bishop G5, take here and go Knight D5, and that would have a better position. But that's why Black players in the Nither always put the Knight on D7, so that they pair this idea and they can pair Bishop F6 with Knight F6, and then Knight D5 is also covered. Okay, so my opponent just attacks this pawn now, and as far as I remember, Knight H4 should be the move. Why do I hate Blitz? Though most players like it over Classical? I mean, just because I need time to think. I always get... How many times have you seen me rage in Title Tuesday because of getting flagged? But okay, without increment I don't like. Maybe it's just personal because I'm not good in it. But 3+2 blitz, it's 5 plus 3 blitz and 3+2 blitz is best for me. Yeah, you can sack the whole army in the Danish Gambit if they accept it. What if he pushes pawn to b4? Then I would go knight d5, and then this pawn on b4 would be weaker in the future. So yeah. So yeah, it depends what your opponent plays against the Danish gambit. Yeah, knight h4 now. Now, as you said, b4 could be a concern because after knight d5, e5, there's bishop h4. So maybe I would need to play. Maybe I need to play some other move. But okay, maybe I mix the whole move order. Maybe I mix the whole move order now when I think about it. Because yeah, he's not supposed to have such an easy play. But I'm not expert in e4, so you'll have to forgive me. Isn't the Danish basically refuted? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I just know that white's supposed to be worse, but I don't know how much worse. If black plays correctly. Yeah, bishop g5 now, is that a move? Then knight e4, bishop e7, queen e7, takes bishop e4. And bishop g5, he'll just go knight d7. Okay, then I'll suppose I'll change the whole strategy. I'll play rook e1, wait for b4, then I'll play knight d5, and when it gets traded off, I will just try to play this structure, then maybe bring my knight to c4 or something, and yeah, claim that this pawn on b4 will be weak in the future. So my pawn just castles. What's wrong with rook e1? Well, I played it, so probably nothing. Danishes remain opening it over the board 2100 level. I mean, look, against d4, it's hard to find something, but when there's so much theory these days, it's hard to find an advantage anywhere. Yeah, exactly, because after g4, Meibara, after g4 there are way more holes in white's position, and then the bishop g5, like bishop g5, bishop f6 plan, and knight d5, there are also holes on f4 and d4, and the knight sometimes spare place on c6. It depends. Yeah, exactly. Rapid chess is by far, like not by far, but much better in order to learn than and like, for example, when I'm playing and streaming Rapid, I can explain 10 times more than I can explain in Blitz on Title Tuesdays, as you know. But yeah, I don't know. I would play 25 plus 10 if it would be possible. So yeah, a3 I decided to play so I can go knight h4 without this being a problem. Even though, yeah, okay. Now the whole point of this was to provoke g6. So now it's like he weakened his king a bit, and also I got this square for the bishop, the h6 square, because I want the bishop here. Usually if I put it on e3, then e4 will hang, or there will be knight g4, and on h6 it's good, because, okay, if takes, then the d6 pawn will be weak, so he can't really challenge it like this. My knight is for now stupid on h4, but I will put it back here. It has done its job of weakening the king, but if I do it immediately, then there might be knight g4. So probably play h3 first in order to stop it. Though after h3 he can maybe play knight c5. Yeah, maybe knight c5. The problem being that then I can't go knight f3 due to knight e4. So h3, knight c5. I mean, I can play a move like queen d2. This is not hanging or anything. Maybe I should just play it like that. Does he have any tactics? Probably not. Yeah. I mean, you should be able to bring yourself to play Rapid. The problem with online Rapid is that you can run into cheaters. Like, it happened to me so many times. But still, even that you should consider. It's not hard. It's not easy. But you should consider even that as a training. If you play against an engine, you're playing against the strongest possible opponent. So, but it's not easy, and I also don't play Rapid often. But when I know who I'm playing, that I'm playing against stronger GMs, which I tend to do sometimes, I don't always stream it. Then I think it's quite good. So now knight e3 runs into this rook c3, bc3, knight e4 maybe, the typical Sicilian exchange sacrifice. But I still think I should go for it because, okay, it will give an unbalanced position and my knight on h4 is stupid. I need to reroute it somewhere. I would probably, if I had to choose a square for it, I would choose e3 so that I can go knight d5 later. Also, I might put it on g5 in some future if he goes for some queen moves. Then the knight on g5 could also be good, but it's hard to attack with only one piece. If the knight comes to g5, then I would need to play the plan with queen f3, then maybe rook d1, knight d5 to weaken all of these squares. Knight f5 we didn't miss. That would be possible if my queen was on d2, then queen g5 would be a threat. So this was a possible move to try to go knight f5. So queen d2 was an idea for sure, but he would have many ways of pairing with it. For example, even king h8. But maybe it would give me something. Maybe that was better. The reason why I don't like the queen on d2 in these neither structures is that then when the knight comes to b6 and c4, it will come here with a tempo, and I will have to waste one more move. So my opponent's going for knight c4 anyway. And that's like very, very typical. And now I need to choose a plan, formulate a plan. Should I go for this knight g5? Should I go for some simple move like queen d3? Knight c4, just go b3. Then he can maybe take on a3. Okay, lots of tactics there. And also play knight d2. That's like a safe move, but then d5 is going to be stronger for my opponent. Still after takes. I'm not sure how my position is worse, but I definitely achieved nothing out of the opening. Yeah, of course, Gypsy. You will see cheaters. You will see cheaters there. So it's best to play Rapid against someone you know personally, just to train. In my eyes, at least. Yeah, Queen d2 to prep was possible, but this is the reason why I didn't do it. Wonder if people cheat more in Blitz Bullet or Rapid. Interesting. I mean, Daniel will probably know more, but I would say much more in Rapid in general. Do we worry about exchange sack? I mean, it's a possibility, but at least like. If we had long castled, then rook c3 would be a bigger problem, because our king would be way more exposed. If we short castle, then even after rook c3, our structure will be destroyed, but it will be an exchange and no attack for black. So it's not that big of a deal. Why are classical time controls or chess that become part of Rapid? I have no idea. I would have to ask them, but it shouldn't be like that, I think. Yeah, maybe queen d3 just to make a simple move. Knight c4. Yeah, maybe now when I think about it, a move hasn't occurred to me in this position, the move queen c1, because then you're threatening knight f5 and this doesn't come under attack. That was probably a very interesting move to play. It just didn't occur to me. And it should have. Okay, what to do? Game goes on. Yeah, okay, let's make a move. He'll go some queen c7, I suppose. Try to go knight c4. Somehow I don't like it. I don't like my position somehow. Maybe just knight d2 to prevent this from ever happening. And, okay, I'll allow him to go d5, then I will take twice. I'm at least able to go c3. His king is not that safe either. I will have no weaknesses, he'll have some more space. Maybe black is somewhat better. At least it's not a disaster immediately. Yeah, of course, 6 minutes left. Watch your time. That was the same. It was the same thing in the last game, because in the training rapids, I don't usually play my main repertoire. My main repertoire is d4, or maybe knight f3. E4 I rarely play, but that's why these are secret. Like secret doesn't matter. It's training matches, so I'm learning new openings and I'm getting more experience with certain structures, which of course costs me time. My opponent is doing it in a different way. He's playing his main openings. He's just practicing his main openings. But yeah, that's definitely a good advice to watch my time. Uh, yeah, h3 is one of the best tries together with bishop g5 or bishop e3. But in these days, you can play everything. If you're just prepared well enough, then you can, in any line, have 15-20 moves of engine prep. And it's very unlikely that your opponents will manage to equalize if they don't exactly know what they're doing. 92 seems most accurate to me. Yeah, I went for it. Just prophylaxis against knight c4. I'm not sure what my plan is if he doesn't go for d5. He goes for a move like this one. Yeah, because did I blunder something? Or is it just a positional exchange suck? Just a positional exchange suck. Very interesting. Okay, this I would never go for with black, but that's because I don't like to sacrifice material. Okay, so this is of course a problem. One of the ways to deal with it is just to go c4. So if he takes with the knight, then I can take, and maybe go a4, open things up. Because my opponent's idea is to go knight a4, knight c3. And that is usually extremely hard in these structures to deal with. If he takes with the b pawn, then at least the knight can't go here anymore, and I will get the b file. Rook b1, knight a4, for example. Knight c3 is going to be a problem. Yeah. Okay, considering that I don't have that much time to think, I'm not an intuitive player. For example, you guys who came from Danya's stream, Danya is an extremely intuitive player. He can sense what the best move is, play it, and later he will understand why I can't do that. And what's my opponent's FIDE rating? I mean, I won't say the exact FIDE rating, but his peak was 2670, I think. Rook e3 was an option, that was a move, but still after knight a4, what's my next move? That rook could come under attack also. And also, after d5, it could have been a problem. So here at least I got rid of that knight which was harassing me. And okay, even though this is still hanging, I can for example play a move like queen d3. I can also play a move like a4, sacrifice this, and then just hope for things. My opponent seems to be a bit tilted because he's playing extremely quickly his moves. Will I plan to show how a GM prepares the engine line in some stream? That hasn't occurred to me, but maybe in the future. I mean, you guys know that I'm only streaming for fun, not like I even ended the affiliate agreement, just doing this for fun, not for money. And I'm not streaming often, but I might do that in one of the future streams. Yeah, exactly. It won't be a secret anymore. Sneaky. Yeah, a4 was my original intention. I don't know what's going on after knight e4 though. ab5, ab5. I don't know, maybe I can go queen d3 then. An alternative could be bishop g5, because then after knight e4 takes, there are some lines with bishop e4 and queen d6, sorry. That's also very possible. Kind of like it actually. Queen d3 is also a move, I suppose. And then he can maybe go queen a4 and keep the blockade, and then just go rook c8. And after queen a4, I can again go bishop g5. And I like every move here, honestly. It goes rook c8, bishop g5 again. So after this, his best move is probably something to stop bishop g5, no? Some knight d7. Then takes. Rook b1. Yeah. Okay, I'll play bishop g5 immediately. I don't want him to stop that. I want to get rid of the knight. Because this bishop is still a passive piece, and the knight could cause me problems later on. It's also attacking d4. And hello to Christ follower 1633. Is 1633 some Bible passage or something, considering your username? My opponent is a GM, so he's a stronger player than me. I don't know if you can see it on stream, but this is the current score from all the training rapid matches we ever played. So it's not going well for me. Yeah, bishop f1, bishop d3. That could be a possibility indeed, but for example, he would be able to go queen a4 and then bishop d3, some knight d7, knight c5. And I don't really want... I think I need to open things up, not close, because when you have rooks against minor pieces, you usually want to open things up, because rooks need open files. Rooks need to be able to attack something, while minor pieces, especially knights, need closed positions. So I want to get open things up, not really passivize with bishop f1, bishop d3. My opponent is Ray Enigma. You're just glad you're glad I didn't play a4? You can defend that pawn. Maybe a4 was actually a strong move. I don't really know, but he would take, I think. Or take with the knight. Yeah. My opponent's burning more time now, which I'm, of course, happy to see. Okay. Yeah, by the way, guys, this video will be surely on my YouTube, so if you haven't seen the first game or you will not stick for the last ones, you will be able to check it there. So, yeah, this is the... Yeah, okay, so takes. This was my planet list, and now I plan to take. Clearly, it's not the only move. I can play a move like queen d3 also, but takes, it looked good, because even though this is extremely weak, I can play queen d6. And then if rook e8, at least queen b4 should be a very good move. So yeah. He'll probably play rook e6 though. And after queen b4, maybe he will play some bishop c2 move or something, but if anyone's better here, it should be me. At least I think so. Why queen b4? So that he can't go bishop 8 and queen c6 and continue the attack. I need to get rid of the queens. So I'm giving up another pawn in the process. But after a move like rook c1 or rook e1, maybe also it could be good. Queen b4, a b4, bishop somewhere. This pawns will be... my pawn on b4 is going to blockade these two pawns, and yeah, okay, it would be even better if I would be able to exchange the rooks too. Can't really do it. So for example, rook c1. Taking here, I didn't mention, but after rook c1 here, the pawn on c4 would stay alive, and it would be a strong passer. So which rook to put? Probably this rook, because if I put rook ec1 takes, he goes some bishop e4 or bishop d3, and maybe that too. It's check here, rook a8, but he would go rook d6. Okay, can't really think. Now I have to play for intuition, which usually hurts me, but okay, what to do? What is my YouTube? It's just my first and last name. If you put it on YouTube, there is no link, like or commands for YouTube. Maybe I should add them, but yeah, I'm a newbie streamer. What to do? not professional or anything. I should drink often. I should stay hydrated. That's true. It's an important factor. But yeah, I'm trying to make it instructive. That costs time and costs me some of my voice. But what to do? Maybe my opponent's the Norwegian guy who was playing Alireza a couple of days ago? Maybe. Hello, Roy Lopez. Recommend you an opening for black against d4 or against e4. Also depends a lot on your playing style. Also depends a lot on your playing style, intuition. If you're more of a positional player, you should definitely find a positional opening. If you're a tactical player like myself, then you should go for the King's Indians, for the Sicilians, for the French maybe. Also depends on your level. If you're a beginner player, just starting, just learning things, then you surely need some simple opening, not some opening with tons of theory. Okay, so my opponent goes for this one. So this is maybe a reason why I was supposed to leave the rook on a1. Because then I would have rook c8, rook a8 now. But of course he would be able to play even bishop e4, and then I would not have this. So who knows? But yeah, okay, several interesting options now. The first one is f4, which would give him a passed pawn after e4. Or if ef, then I can take gf, and then all of his pawns are on light squares. It has a light squared bishop, that should be quite good for me. And if he goes e4, then I can go king f2, king e3, which would create a very nice blockade, I think, and then I would be able to infiltrate with the rooks later. So I like f4, kind of. Rook c5, e4 just doesn't give me that much. I think I need to activate the king as soon as possible. And then later I'll try to double and infiltrate with the rooks. Considering there are two open files, he can only have one closed with the bishop. I'm already controlling one. These two against one they're blockaded. A5 will always have a passed pawn. So I'm not that worried about it. Even though you can imagine some position where you can go a5 takes rook a6, rook a1, and then pushes b4, b3. Because this bishop guards the b1 square quite nicely. But okay. Let's say I don't really believe in it, because still, after this, for example, rook a1, b4, I can go rook a2, for example, b3 here, and then if he defends the bishop with the rook, I'll go rook a1, defend my own passed pawn. And if he takes my passed pawn, I will take b3, and then at least I won't lose. New French. For positional player, what's a good one against d4? I would suggest, for example, the Queen's Gambit, or maybe Rogozin. Rogozin's a good opening against d4, or some dc4 Catalans. Even closed Catalans should be good. Or Nimzo, yeah, maybe Nimzo, because okay, Nimzo, white dictates a bit in the Nimzo, because he can play some extremely sharp things with f3. He can play positional things with g3. There are several alternatives. You can play some queen c2, which can be both positional and tactical. Was a simple opening with black. Probably some modern, even though it's not that great. You could always have a similar setup to play with g6, bishop g7, d6, knight d7 usually, a6, b5. Caro-Kann is relatively, and Scandinavian is also relatively. Scandinavian is also relatively simple to play. Rook c5, rook d5, rook d4 should get you the pawn. I mean, it's protected because the bishop protects it and the pawn protects the bishop. So I can't can't really challenge this with my rooks. I need to work around it. So my plan is going to be maybe rook c3, rook c1, and then infiltrate here. Or if he closes the bishop c4, then I'll go rook d1 and try to infiltrate. At least one rook will infiltrate sooner or later Black's position. Get hit with the alien gambit? No thanks. It's funny thing, I've heard of this alien gambit only recently, and then I saw that in one bullet brawl game that I played against that witty alien streamer, and he played it against me and they won in 15 moves, so I'm not that afraid of it. Just study it and kill the fun for every God in Chess subscriber? Yeah, of course I should set up commands so that people can find my YouTube, so that people can find like my bio or something, what I'm doing. I should also notice the raids. So it's really dumb not to notice a huge raid from Danya. Shout out to him and cheers again. Hope he was doing well in his blitz. London is London with white, it's relatively simple to play indeed. He key is the best, or H key, I don't know. Levy himself told people how to play the alien gambit. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't really follow most of the YouTube videos what to do. I mean, I'm still trying to focus on playing and improving my own career. My opponent is an anonymous GM who is stronger than me, and he has a huge lead against me thus far in these training rapid matches. Yeah, the London definitely counts as a simple one, because you get all of the pieces out early, one piece, one move, and you get always a healthy position to play. Not necessarily a better position, but a healthy one, surely. One afternoon studying it with the engine, and you kill the hordes of people excited to try it? Yeah, that's how it works, usually. Yeah, my Chessable course is available as well. There should be a command for that too. Witty is a legend. I mean, he's doing it professionally as far as I've heard from people. Okay, so now my opponent decides to go for this a5 stuff, and I'm pretty sure that I will play the line which I just mentioned. Even though now I have a different option too. I can go king d4 and king c3. It's interesting, actually. Maybe I should play rook a4. The rook a4, if he goes b3, you can go rook b4. And then if takes, I take b3, that's surely fine. And if he plays bishop c2, then I can go rook a1, and then my rook is not on b2 as in the line which I mentioned above. Not above, but earlier, and then after rook a1, b2 is still not possible. Then my rook is at least more active here. Okay, let's try it. See where it leads us. Very anonymous GM indeed. Classical tournaments upcoming. I mean, I was playing the Bundesliga, and okay, the last 2 weekends I made 3 draws on board 1, and I lost 1 game. I had amazing positions, probably winning against Mamedyarov. Blue bound, that was an early draw, but I was winning against Ivic in like 10 moves, and I lost the game. And yeah, I also drew against Kadrich. So my next, and I will play again the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga I will play, the Hungarian League I will play in the weekends, and considering open tournaments, maybe I'll play Grenke Chess Open in Karlsruhe, which is in the end of March, as far as I know. The anonymous GM, is he Croatian? Your guess is as good as mine. You watched the first game while waiting at the dentist? Okay, Ingo, you're the most passionate viewer here. Considering I don't have VIPs and mods, you aren't one, but otherwise you would be for sure. Yeah, I won the first game. After... It was topsy-turvy though. I didn't play well, but my opponent collapsed in a rook endgame. He was too ambitious there. As a King's Indian player, could we keep quiet about that h3 variation? I suppose. Yeah, my chessable course on the h3 variation is available. Okay, so my opponent goes for this endgame. In general, this should be long suffering for him if he can't do something immediately. Maybe he can. So, how to activate the second rook? I go rook c1. That seems like a very normal move. If you give it a check, king d4 might be best actually. Bishop somewhere, then I go rook c7. I give up g3 and I double the rooks here. And it's hard for him to defend, I feel like. You can even go king f2 if I want to play more safely. And king g2. Yeah, let's go rook c1. Let's go for a win. King d4, king d2 first was also fine, by the way, but I want to activate the rooks as quickly as possible. Okay, my opponent goes to a2. Surely not what I was expecting. I think I should go here now. Rook b7, because then my first rook is immediately here. Also, an improvement move would be g4, so that I can go g5. Then I also have ideas on the h rank, with checkmate and stuff. So yeah. Looking at the win rate for white in the h3 variation is just depressing. No wonder. Everyone bought and read my chessable course on it. And then they started playing it and winning games. Okay, let's go g4 to seize more space. This is not a problem, the bishop is still hanging. Can go h4, but then I get in g5. Rook endgame is always a draw. No, they're not always a draw. As you have seen in the first game, where I did win that one. Some are more drawn than others. What about rook's endgames? Is that still a draw? Absolutely not. There are always winning chances on both sides. Like, ask Magnus. We could have saved the a-pawn with king d2 and king d4, but I wasn't sure if it's that great because his b-pawn would still be alive. Here I'm decided for something that is not, probably objectively not as good as that would have been, but at least I'm in zero danger and I will press on for forever because I have the two rooks and for in exchange for only one pawn, and my rooks are extremely active. Should be lost with perfect play indeed, but by the way, guys who are new to the stream, I'm bad in endgames in general. I'm a tactical player. Endgames are by far my worst area of expertise in chess. Oh wait, there is still some chessable course command. Didn't even know that the command still exists. Because I started streaming like in late 2020, I did it for a couple of months. Then I stopped doing it for a few years. And then my goal was to get the GM title. Then I got my GM title, got to 2600, lost my 2600. Now I'm back to streaming a bit more. What is tactical versus positional? Tactical positions are usually where there are a lot of attacking possibilities, where there's a lot of things to calculate, where concrete calculation is way more important than strategical maneuvering. Here it's about, okay, strategical is example of strategical. I play g5, in 10 moves, this king is going to be weak and I'll have checkmating ideas. Example of tactical, I go rook c3, he goes knight c3, I go b c3, he goes knight d4, I go knight c5, and this concrete calculation. This was of course a made up line, not nothing else. Okay, now I'm quite tempted to run the king forward, but he will go king g7. Some sacrifices to expose the king a bit even more also. Probably something to consider. Rook c7 I could do to get rid of this bishop. Then he would go bishop somewhere, then I would be able to attack the pawn from multiple directions, or go for the 8 rank attack. Okay, let's try it. Just see what he's going to do against all of this. I need to activate the second rook. I can't really go to any of the files. That's why f5 was maybe interesting with rook f1 also. But okay, I don't have that much time to think. I don't want to sacrifice if it's not needed. If you don't win middle game, it's mostly over. Yeah, but you can study endgames. For example, Lagarde's book on endgames is what I always suggest to my student. Okay, I didn't expect bishop b3 at all. First of all, I can take a pawn. Secondly, I can try for rook b1. And then try to go for some checkmating ideas. Rook b1, bishop e6, rook b8, king g7, rook e7. Looks extremely dangerous, to me at least. Some rook a3 runs into this stuff. I don't care that much about taking pawns, I care more about this king being extremely weak in this game. Is the anonymous GM an interesting Russian ex-world champion? It's not Vladimir Kramnik. His peak was not 2670. His peak was 2800. Okay, my opponent does this, I give a check. And I think I go here. Just to double here and threaten all kinds of checkmates. He can take a pawn, but then he runs into this stuff. Now I think I should take this pawn finally. No reason not to. And then if he keeps giving checks, I will go this way, I think. This is why I played g5 in the long run, so that I have this checkmating pattern. Yeah, calculations versus good positions in the long run. That's mainly what it's about. Now I can take the pawn. Now I did take the pawn. Okay, king e5, or just king e3. Probably king e3. I don't think it actually matters all that much, by the way. But I definitely need to go this way. I need to go this way to b1 and then go here. I don't see how he's going to stop me from checkmating him, basically. Here, because after this stuff, if he goes f6 or f5, I will again go rook e7, bishop f7, the other rook, and then the pin should decide the game. Okay, rook b1. King b1, sorry. Now this is also a threat, but he will move the rook surely. Yeah, this move I forgot about. And now the problem is, I won't say a problem, but he can go bishop f5 and trade the rooks and then take the h3 pawn. So in order to avoid that, I'm pretty sure I should go king c1 first. Now there is no more that stuff. He can technically go bishop g4. And that has to be lost. I will take this. Or maybe even I should go... No, I can't. I can go rook a7, bishop g4, bishop c4. And go rook a7, for example, bishop g4, rook a7, bishop h3. I think rook a7 is best. Let me think a bit. If bishop h3, rook a8, then I think it's the same thing. No way to defend checkmate, right? Yeah, I don't see a defense from a checkmate. If he goes bishop f3, then I can go rook c7, and then he can't stop rook c8, same thing. If I understand this correctly, this is best, then it should be game over. Wait, I'll get back to the chat in a moment. I think here now, or to d7, doesn't even matter, I think. C or d7. Yeah, I don't see a difference. So let's just go here. Yeah, of course they can play many things. They can also play oh, my opponent still found a move to fight. With rook c8 there is this. That's why I should have gone here, but I think I can do it now. I only have several seconds on the clock, that's a problem. I should have gone here immediately, that was better. Still he shouldn't be able to stop this. The king is just too weak after ever since I played g5. At least it feels like that. Okay, let me finish the game and then I'll come back to the chat. So he wants this check again. Now I think I attack. I attack the bishop. Gives another check. And then I guess I go here. And now he can technically go here. And then claim after this, he can play f5, and then I don't have... Yeah, so the point is if I go here, f5, I can't give checkmate anywhere. So maybe I should start with rook c7. Amazing how many accuracies are needed. But rook c7, rook c2 and bishop e4 will come. Okay, then I guess I should play this anyway. Just force f5. And now probably some move like this one. I'm threatening checkmate. Where is he gonna go? He gives a check, I go king up. And it's still not over. Unbelievably enough, but I think I go here now, right? Attack the bishop, and now I'm threatening rook a7. I'll get back to the chat in a moment. I think I finally won the game now, after almost 60 moves. Okay. Yeah, by the way, you can even play on Lichess just anonymously. You don't have to play... you can play anonymously, you don't have to log in. And then people will never be able to find your games. You have to have an account to play. Okay, should I go for the King's Indian? No, let's play solid today. Take bishop and then f5? Okay, maybe that was... I just... Like, in general, if you have two rooks against a rook and a bishop, you don't want to trade one rook off. In general, you don't want to. I'll go for the a6 line here. Because two rooks give you way more attacking potential. So, I mean, of course it depends on the position, but here this felt much better. Yeah, sorry about Nightbot there. Yeah, there are many sides you can play. The guy's an amazing defender. They never ending endgame. Yeah. Okay, bishop b6. No, I gambit if he goes queen c6. No, I didn't go for the nims. I went for the queen's gambit with a6. Just mixing openings. Last match, which is also on my YouTube, I've played the King's Indian both times with black. Now I'm playing with e6, so it's always something else. Let's go queen e7 here. Isn't this supposed to be okay for me if I can go bishop g4, which I can now? I mean, I'm sure that my opponent knows what he's doing. He's playing, he's splitting out. Yeah, the exchange line I did allow, but I feel relatively comfortable playing it, so it's not everyone's cup of tea to be perfectly clear. Definitely not everyone's cup of tea to play the exchange. But I kind of like it. It's a solid structure with no great weaknesses. In general, as far as I know about this structure, usually if you can play, usually they go h3 because if you're able to go bishop g4, you achieved quite a lot. But maybe my opponent knows things I don't know. Maybe. Okay, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6. That should not be a problem. I feel like. But I can also take f4. I don't think after c6 that worse. This a6 usually actually enters the exchange variation. The exchange variation structure. Maybe he actually has some ideas here with g5 and knight d5. Maybe this is theory. My opponent is a great theoretician, by the way. That much I can say. Okay, let's take. So now if I take here, I can take with the pawn too. And when I castle, he can take g5. Even there, I'm not sure if it's that great for white because the structure is ruined. But I can go maybe queen d6, check, and just king f8. That's usually not a problem in this structure. Let's see. If he takes with the queen, then I'll go c6, and I don't think that's too much. Even though he can, of course, play it for a long grind. We're playing 2 more games. It's always a 4-game match between me and my opponent. Sorry about that. I was just checking something on my phone. So I think queen d6. Queen d6 is supposed to be played because allowing rook e1 is not great. And if I castle, knight d5, I don't think this is that bad either. After c6, for example, some queen f3, knight f6 with the queen coming to d6. But it will be some kind of a pawn up. And I think I prefer queen d6, rook e1, king f8. And then just the idea of g6 and king g7. I have some experience in this structure. And usually you don't mind the king on f8 if this is achieved and the structure is like this with these weak pawns. It would be different if the knight was on f3, by the way, because if the knight is on f3, then it could come to e5 and cause massive danger. But without that knight and my bishop on c8, which would usually be stupid, this is usually not something to be concerned about. Usually. Maybe in this concrete position there is something, I don't know, like g4 or something that makes it worse. Because for example, if he goes g4, If it goes to normal move c6, g5, I can't go knight h5, so I have to retreat the knight to a passive square, maybe e8, c7. Rook e5 I did see. This is also a typical move, but I'm not sure if it will do too much here. Okay, so far there is no threat. If he goes knight d5, I'll take knight d5 and queen d5. That's clear. So I can make a move like g6 and king g7 immediately. Oh wait, g6, then maybe knight d5, knight d5, fe, queen d5, queen f6, and then the rook is hanging. To go rook g8. Still doesn't look bad because I'll go queen e6 next move. Rook c1, c6. Queen d4 is also hanging. But I can go c6 to prevent all of that also. And after rook e1 or some move like that, then go g6. It also doesn't look bad. To just stop, because when you play c6, this knight is extremely bad. Always. I think both options are decent, actually. But okay, let's play c6, just more solid stuff. c6 is always better, because if you go c5 takes, then first of all this pawn will not be weak anymore, and here you can attack it. There are some motives for black. And secondly, this is not weak. And also it restricts the knight on c3. Had I played c5, then this pawn would be able to be taken in the future, and the knight gets a purpose. Here it doesn't have a purpose, it can't go anywhere. He'll have to reroute it somewhere here in the future. Since you're a King's Indian player, what do you do against the semi-Auerbach? Remind me what the semi-Auerbach is, because I'm not good with opening names. If you tell me King's Indian with 5th move bishop e2 or 6th move bishop g5 or something, I don't know if that's it, but then I will know. But if you tell me, yeah. How does a6 work in the concept of a minority attack here? Well, first of all, after b4, sometimes you have b5, and then a4 is not a tempo, and you can go knight b6, knight c4. I'm talking about this position, by the way. For example, c6 takes, and then he goes rook b1, b4, I can answer it with b5 and here. And if the a6 pawn was not here, then after c6, for example, b4, b5, a4 would come with a tempo, I would need to spend a move on a6, and it's worse. So that's about the minority attack. Bishop e2, bishop e3. I usually played knight bd7 on move 6, or knight c6 on move 6. But that's one of the more annoying lines, bishop e2, bishop e3. That's one of the more annoying lines to deal with. To me, at least. Is g6, king g7 necessary? I mean, you want to connect the rooks, because some action is going to happen sooner. In general, no. I could play a move like queen b4 first, but I need some protection for my king, and I also need to connect the rooks sooner or later, because the rook on h8 in any endgame, I will need 3 more moves to activate it. And hello to Volta Jack Z. Was castle's queenside an option on move 13? Here I did consider it briefly, but I didn't know what to do after knight d5, knight d5. I didn't mention it, but after takes, some knight f6, I don't know. Maybe it's playable, but for example, queen c4, rook c1, it feels that the king is way more dangerous here than it is. The king is in way more danger here on the king side than on f8. Here on f8 it feels safer. Maybe I'm wrong, of course. So as far as I can see now, if I go for a move like queen b4, my opponent is going to have to give up this rook. Of course, in return he would get quite a lot of compensation. Because here I'm threatening this double attack and knight e5, so I'm pretty sure he would play some rook e1. Then I would be able to take, he would take with some pawn. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is any need for all of this, because I can play g6, king g7 first to make my king safer. And rook e7 I can always pair with rook e8. I go here, maybe he'll go some a3 to stop queen b4, king g7, rook e1, and the game goes on. So queen b4 is now or never. It feels like the right move. I'm going to say that immediately. It feels like the right move, rook e8. I don't know if it takes though, or takes this. I'm not sure, should I enter tactics now or not? Is it okay to just count how many pieces are defending a square? No, chess is more complex than that. I would wish if it wasn't. Yeah, queen b4. Maybe he would... Okay, I don't know what he would do. Probably rook e1. Even then I can go g6 after that. Okay, let's go. Queen b4. Very ambitious play by me. I want to take the rook. Maybe I will not take the rook immediately. Maybe I'll go g6, king g7 again. Easiest point against that system is when pieces of higher value are attacking than are defending. Yeah. Is this much of a secret match with 270 plus viewers? That was only because the great Daniel raided me. Usually I would have 20 viewers at best, probably. But yeah, my opponent's still a secret gem, and I can't say his name. So now, surely taking is an option. D runs into d4 even, which I didn't see before. That's immediately quite good. So he'll have to take with the f-pawn. And then probably he would go e6, but after some knight e8, e6, queen e7, that's still good, because this knight can't go anywhere. Take the rook or not take the rook? g6, king g7, is that too much? Rook e7, king g7, I don't think it's a problem, because I'll go rook e8 next move. g6, f5, king g7, h6, hg. Maybe there is some bishop g6 in that position. Okay, wait. I have to defend this. This is forced. Take 6, bishop g6. If takes, then this. With queen e6. Does it look a bit scary, I have to say. I take with the king, then I'm getting checkmated probably quite quickly. So probably I need to take the rook, no matter if I want to or not. Okay, let's see what will happen. Yeah, that's the secret, and also that I've played quite a lot of games against this opponent, and I've only streamed 2 matches. This is the second one. I'll probably stream more in the future. These matches, and not Title Tuesdays or Blitz, where I don't do anything instructive and just rage instead. Grob Junkie in our midst? Yeah, maybe. I've tried the Grob in my early ages, but I've quit it quite quickly. Okay, so the first option is knight e4, but I don't feel like giving up a pawn. So then what? Where does my knight belong? Does it belong on g8 so that I can go g6 without this being a problem? Or does it belong on e8? Trying to go here as quickly as possible. Can even go rook e8 first. I don't know if there's much point to it. He'll go just some... Wait, maybe I should go rook e8. Then I never have to worry about t6 stuff anymore. Rook e8 and then knight g8, g6 can just... Yeah, I think my position is just good, honestly. It's hard to see the attacking potential for white. Maybe rook e8, he'll go queen f4, knight g8, rook e3, trying to go rook f3. Yes, I'm not really scared of e6. That's why. Ah, but wait. Knight g8, e6, queen e7 takes. I can't go queen e3, but I can take queen f7, so it's still fine. Yeah. e6 I can even take, maybe, and go knight f6 back. So e6 is definitely not a problem. Knight g8, maybe he'll just go f4 and try to frontally attack me. f4, knight e7. Or f4, g6 maybe even. f5 takes. Okay, there is one more reason why I'll play rook e8 first. And that is if f4, I might have an option of c5. Rook e2? It feels very slow. Okay, defending a pawn, but for example, what if c5? I'm attacking stuff. If some queen f4, okay, then queen d4. Okay, the knight's hanging, I should probably move it away. Probably. Like moves like h5 also makes sense, because then I'll have rook h6 as some kind of a defensive move in some lines. I'm burning. Okay, this game I'm really burning too much time. I could end up in trouble because of that. So okay. Wait, sorry that I missed the chat. Sorry I can't really play because I'm playing a competitive match. Then g4 in the neither, of course. Wait, what's with coach? No, coach, Hunter's coach, the coach command, I don't think it exists. But I'm available to coaching for players rated 2000 feet and plus. More players or Chazor to come? Yeah, indeed. h5 is the move only a GM would consider. It's like a prophylactic move because I'm not sure what his next move is. His next move is probably f4. And then after h5, f4, I didn't really know what to do. But okay, you want to activate this rook somehow. So maybe on h6, it's like that's Carlsen's trademark. These rook lifts. He likes it better than any other GM. Yeah, objectively I think I'm better, but it's far from over, and practically speaking, it's not a... okay, let's go f4. It's not clean at all, and he has quite a lot of attacking potential. So my plan was to go g6 here. And f5 take it. There are alternatives. For example, f6 could be an alternative, even though that looks quite suspicious. And this is also not easy to evaluate either. I'll get in my knight to g6 probably. Okay, let's go for that. That was my original plan anyway. Weakens quite a lot of squares too. Oh no, wait, I forgot about something. Okay, that's not great because I forgot that then the queen can come to h6 after it takes 97. Takes 97, queen h6 check, then I have to go king g8, then e6. Okay, that was sloppy by me. Maybe I'm getting a bit tired. Can go king g7 though. It's not really a move I would like to play, but very often desperate times seek desperate measures. Then f6 go back, or even take knight f6. Who knows? Because king g7, if I could go f6, then it's probably all great. Not all great, but at least playable. I can move the queen back to e7 and maybe to h4. It could be useful there. Because f6, knight f6, there is again queen h6 check. Problems. Sorry for ignoring the chat. Okay, let me take this thing. And then I will see what to do. It's also a question whether he will take with the bishop or play some rook f2 or queen f4. He will take with the bishop. Maybe h5 I should play actually, so that this square is defended. Or queen e7. Queen e7 trying to go queen h4. Or if queen f4 then h6, queen g5. Need to solve several problems in this position. Okay, the queen doesn't do anything on b4 anymore. Everything is protected, so let's move it. Only have 3 minutes. Since white played h3, we can safely say it's not Carlsen. It's not Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, he has a lot of compensation. If I can simplify, I'll win. If I don't lose some time before that. This game I really burned a whole lot of time. But still, in the past 2 games, the time management wasn't a problem. It's not 3+2 blitz or bullet. This is rapid. This is 10-second increment, so you can live on increment. At least make some sensible moves. It's better to not be in time trouble, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what my opponent's going to play next, I have to say. And pieces are so cramped here, but at least this knight is also extremely passive. His worst placed piece is this knight, so he needs to do something about it. Either this or maybe, I don't know, somewhere here. Or he can try to improve with rook f2 first. But then I can even go king g7 maybe. h6 queen g5 is surely what I want, so that my queen controls quite a lot of things here, and that I can go knight e7, knight g6 in a couple of moves. Do I ever get annoyed with how long classical games are? I mean, not due to how long they are, don't get annoyed by that, but I get annoyed with opening preparation in them, because it's so much memorization these days that, yeah. Okay, rook f2, h6, I forgot about bishop g6. Lovely. Maybe queen h4 then, with queen h6. I don't know. I have to speed up. If I keep burning all my time, no good things will happen. At least now I'm threatening knight d7, knight g6, or king g7 first and then all of that. e6 gives me the f6 square for the knight, or even f6, knight e7. I don't think that's great. Do I use Chessable for prep or only chess-based? No, I only look at... I don't use Chessable for preparation. I didn't buy any courses, I only put mine there. Because also, from my experience, very often authors on Chessable don't... authors on Chessable don't really put all of their work, like 100% best lines in their courses. Very often they give something and they miss the critical lines so that it would look better or something. And yeah, I trust myself more. In one sentence, I trust myself more that I will make my own analysis, which will be better. It's also a bit with personality. If I want to do something right, I usually do it myself, always. It depends, like, okay, top GMs know everything. It's something they will write about, but they will not really play it, usually. For example, Guy wrote a course on the French. I don't think he ever played the French in the classical game after that. So, and I'm not sure if they're doing it or their seconds are doing it also. You think it's too high tier and make their course look better? I mean, there were some instances. Also, maybe it's because for beginner players, maybe it's not even important. It's very unlikely that any of the positions in the course will actually happen. But here, strong GMs could easily understand the problems. Maybe they just want to minimize the amount of work they're using for the course. It's also like, the quality of the product is extremely important. Okay, I wrote my course quite a long time ago. Now there are some 3 or 4 lines which exist now and didn't exist then. And at that time, of course, I wasn't able to write about them because they didn't exist. But other than that, I covered every single possible line in that course, and I've seen that that's not the case with quite a lot of other authors. Where to put this knight? We go knight e7, then there is bishop b7 or any other moves. So rook e7 is a prophylactic defensive move. I will play it, but I'm not sure what to do with this knight. I would need it on h6 or somewhere. I like my position less and less. In the previous game, I liked my position more and more after every single move. Here I like it less and less. My pieces got frozen. Relatively frozen. Maybe I was supposed to put the queen on g5 and not on h6, then I would have knight h6. What to do? Do you think that happened with Caruana's course? I mean, I don't have access to it. I don't know it. It doesn't strike me as someone who would deliberately hide lines, but who is to know? If I go queen g5, knight c5, you'll have also knight e6 as a threat. No, knight e6 I can take fe. Okay, I think this could hang on, but only by a thread. It looks I'm so lost here. Okay, he goes h4. Yeah, this is not a good position. This is just not a good position. I got outplayed in this game. I was maybe too greedy with taking the rook. Yeah, I like you considering their g4 ideas. You'll have a gander. I mean, g4 is what I always play in the kings in the end with fights. But the course needs an update in 2 or 3 lines, just yeah. Other than that, it's still fine to play. Course is outdated, says you're an IM. Yeah, that's true. But what to do? Can I go knight h6 now? I think I can and should. Knight e6 I can take. Bishop e6. As far as I can see, I don't get checkmated when the queen is on g7. Knight e7. Here I'm not that sure. King e8 there. And okay, king e8 I had to play anyway. Taking here is pointless. Now if we go to d8 and c7, that could be good actually. Okay, let's try. I'm not sure, like if he goes queen b3 to go queen b6, then I go here, I think. And if he goes queen a3 to try to go queen d6, then I will first take the bishop to prevent it. Okay, so that's why he preserves the bishop. Now I should go away as far away as I can, I think. No, but then maybe queen a3. Okay, wait. Queen a3. Queen f8. Queen d6, king b6. It's not pleasant, definitely. Okay, let's run away. Let's see what. No, wait, that was a blunder. I forgot. There's knight d5. Position was lost anyway, too. This game I got completely outplayed. That's my opponent. My opponent's so good, so. To my Pat's eyes, it looks like I'm holding it, and to my Pat's eyes, it looks like I'm dead lost. Queen f8, queen b6 here, there is knight d5. Boom. So I have to play a move like this, which is of course horrible. Now he can take, go queen d6, king b6, queen e6, and yeah, stupid knight on h6 is not going to live to see better days, probably. The position is that lost, but still I can fight with queen g3 and stuff. And Sherlin won't resign the game. No one has ever won a game by resigning. You can make a move like rook f3 to stop that, trying to go rook g3, rook b3, sorry. And go for some checkmating ideas. And I would go knight f5, he would go here, h7. Queen c5, king a8, it's not mate. Queen c5 might be smart, then I have to go back to c7. But what's the continuation for him? It's also... I don't know, it's not that clear. But yeah, I got outplayed. I'm not sure what I have done wrong. Maybe the position itself is something I completely misevaluated, or maybe I was supposed to not take the exchange. And hello to Quad Fortune. Okay, he does take here. So queen g3. What's the point? I guess the point is rook f3. Let me see the point. I don't have a choice. I have to make a... Here I give a check. Here I can take rook h3, check. That looks fine. What's the point then? Okay, knight d5, that's probably best. King a7, queen h6, and this is covered. Then I have to take like this, but at least his king is unsafe, and I will go rook g8. Even though I'm 2 pawns down. I don't know, but this is what I have to play. Time to swindle him into a draw, let's go. Ingo, how was the dentist appointment? All teeth fine? Knight d5 is probably best stepped games, yeah. That's probably the best try. My opponent goes for knight d7. Oh wait, of course he goes for knight d7. That move didn't even occur to me. Yeah, then it's just bad. Yeah, then it's just bad. Because now, of course, I can't take the knight, take the knight next move. And if we go here, he will just go give it to... Can I make the line better somehow? Queen e1 check first, and then rook g8. Then I'm threatening queen g3 again. He has to go rook f3, as far as I can see. And then something. But what something? Oh, wait. Maybe there is a more clever idea. Queen e3 check. Because then the queen is pinned. Wait, queen e3? Now I'm not convinced at all about my opponent's play after I've seen this move. Queen e3, king h2, now I go rook g8, now I'm threatening here, and he can't move the rook because he's pinned. And if he goes to f1, wow. Okay, if he goes to h1, then again rook g8, and I'm threatening queen e1, then queen g3. Queen here, then probably rook g8 again, threatening queen c1, and then queen b2, rook g2 and stuff with a powerful attack. Okay, now I'm starting to... Now I'm back in the game for sure. I'm back in the game. Inner Frank James Marshall? I don't need him now. Oh, okay, the wisdom tooth is coming out, but now it's better. 94 attacking the queen and the horse at the same time? I'm not sure at which moment, you mean. Okay, he went to h1, but what is his move now? Really? He goes rook f6 for the queen, then I give a check, go here and take. Oh, this is his move. And that's a problem. Didn't see that. Yeah, that's a problem. Did I have something better here? And who knows what the engine is going to say when I analyze these games. I'll try to go for rook g6. That was actually dumb, but yeah, that was actually dumb. Still, I don't know if I had any better choices. You can go here and then we give a check. Even rook f1 takes, king g1 is fine. Goes to f5. 12th cleaner for him to go to f8 because then checkmate would be a threat. Okay, I'm still lost. I'm dead lost. The only chance I might have is to go here and here. Like rook g4, rook h4, but of course it's not going to happen. Even if it happens, it's probably nothing special. But at least it's not over on the spot. You couldn't even move jaw properly? Yeah. Of course it's lost for me. It's lost for me for the last 20 moves. But what to do? I will not resign. That's sure. That's one thing I will not do. Let's make him think and prove that he's winning. This game is actually very instructive and interesting in my eyes. Think it's possible to get quite a lot of interesting conclusions from this game. Exactly, Fonta, never resign. Nobody has won a game by resigning. If he gets into this wild time trouble, then everything is possible. Even though we do have 10 seconds increment, but still everything is possible. With the exposed king especially. If I can get this pawn, somehow, then I'll be relatively happy. But if the queens get off, that's why queen f8 was, I think, winning on the spot. He gone here, then check, king h2 is still not possible, but here he would go. Okay, never mind. So now he wants queen e3. That's a problem. Let's go c5. Now he can't trade it. He can go e6 maybe, then I guess should go to d2. Because now queen e3 runs into some problems and the rook's hanging and this is also a threat. So let's see. How does he deal with all of this? Rook e5, rook h6, rook h5, then I go queen d1, that's good. Rook e3. d4 e7 is a problem. They have something stronger. Can take rook g2. Yeah, d4 g7. Here promotion would be lost for me, I think. So I have to try for this, but still lost for me. He can take d5, that's the problem. Let's see if I can have some perpetual here. It's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely though. But I have to try. He needs to go forward with the king. If he blocks, then I can take on e6. That's the thing. Yeah, unfortunately it's too little too late. All of this is too strong. And the whole setup. With the knight is covering too many squares. I think he should go forward. which he does, and just forward to d8 and c7 if needed. Yeah. Who resigned in the winning position? I don't know who resigned in the winning position. Unfortunately, can't really do anything. He found all the best moves. It's annoying when they find all the best moves. Yeah, this one I can surely resign. This I'm very curious about. This game. Let's play d4 this game. The Najdorf game, even though I did win it, I probably had a bad position of the opening. They go for the Benoni or for knight c3? Yeah, my opponent is a GM. He's stronger than me. He has an overall big lead against me. Okay, which Benoni to play? Let's play this one. And what's his P classical rating? Somewhere around 26. 2670s. I'm not sure what the move order is here, honestly, because I never played this line against the Benoni with bishop f4. I know against a6, a4, the stuff with e3 is good. And h3, but without a6, I'm not sure if there is any difference. If there's any difference. He still has a provisional rating because it's a secret account. And even though I'm streaming this and he knows that I'm streaming, still the name will not pop up. How old is he? That's not important. Yeah, this game I want to take a quick look at immediately. What have I done wrong? It's taking the rook wrong. Jin says it doesn't. Still, g6 was wrong. c5. c5. Yeah, I probably got crushed in the end. Didn't feel... Oh wait, there are chances here after e6. How is this a draw with d4? I have to look at this quickly. How is this a draw? If checkmate in 1 is a threat. No, this I would never have found. No chance. It's a question if I would even find this in a tournament game. Okay, this I won't be upset about. Really, now allow the second queen and then play rook g2, which is covered by 2 pieces. Man, chess is hard. Indeed. f5. Maybe I've done something wrong here in this structure. Doesn't feel like it should get in f5 that easily. But okay. I'll just play simply. You would stump key into that line, Lewis as always for checks? Okay, I don't know that. F4. What happens if I go e4 trying to go knight d2? I'll go knight d7. An alternative is maybe to castle. That's okay. I'll try to go here. Now, my bishop is for now very, very stupid, but he needs to prove a point. He's blitzing out all of these moves, suggesting that he knows exactly what he's doing, which I'm not happy about. Knight d2, knight d5 he's probably going to play, and then bishop h5, gh. Some motives from the old Fischer games. Okay, let's castle then. I didn't play this well. That's because I'm playing lines which are not familiar to me. Okay. He's probably past his prime. He's now lower rated than he used to be. Still, that's not a certainty by any means. Okay, queen e7, still blitzing out all the moves, huh? Yeah, I probably didn't play this all too well strategically. Actually, I certainly didn't play this all too well strategically. Okay, let's go for a4. This one he can take, I don't really care. It's more likely he'll go knight e5 or something. And then I should probably take. Queen e5. Why does this guy keep blitzing out every move? Never stinks. What do I think of the alien gambits? Don't play it, it's garbage. You give up a piece, okay, you can work in bullet games maybe, but don't play it. There's so many barrel openings. You won't even surprise anyone anymore. Takes. What's that position about? And I really need this knight on a barrier square. I would need it on c4. But this pawn is hanging. Okay, let's make a prophylactic move first. Now this is never going to be a problem again. And bishop d7. So if I go queen b3, I'll go some rook b8, I suppose. Does bishop g4 make sense? To trade these bishops, then bring the queen to f3? Impossibly. If he manages to go knight f6 and g5, I won't like it. Benoni boy clapping you? I mean, it's a question if I'm worse or not, but so far I'm leading in the match. You think it's usable in bullets? Maybe yes. Main difference between 2670 and 2700? There isn't one. Yeah, exactly. Against the card, there are countless nice options. The point is to have fun. Sure. Bullet is not really chess. Fantasy feels like a more sound King's Gambit. Something like that. That's a very good description. Okay, back to the game. I don't want to lose on time. Yeah, bishop g4. Don't really like it. I mean, maybe I should just take that knight and go... Yeah, I'm not sure if I should go f3, but maybe go king h1, f3, bring the bishop to f2, and just play the position. But still, there will be weaknesses everywhere. But I don't want to allow knight f6 either. Okay, I have to do something. For losing time. If he trades the queens, then I'm probably happier than I was. So he keeps them on the board. Probably king h1. Then I can go f3 and slowly dream about bishop g1, b4, and bishop d4 in the future. Okay, queen g5. Now he wants f3, so pretty sure I should play f3 myself. Who's the strongest player I've ever played? I mean, in my eyes, it's Vasily Ivanchuk. Even though I played Mamedyarov a month ago, so you might say Mamedyarov also. In classical over the board, I'm talking about only classical over the board. In online, I've played Carlsen and everyone else. Okay, let's go queen d2. Put a bit more pressure on this pawn, maybe with knight d2 in the future, or just make possible rook b1 b4 because the knight will be protected. Put the duck on g4. Does nothing next to your name. Sorry for backseating. Oh, perpetual checkmate. The duck is not usable, I think. Besides, I don't know the rules of duck chess. I've heard of it, but I don't know the rules. Due to talent or hard work, in my eyes, talent is maybe 1% of everything related in chess. Everything else is hard work. So if I go rook b1, he'll go b5, I think. Take. Okay, then maybe I should find an alternative to bring the knight to c4. And he will go bishop b5 again, a4. So don't really like that. My rook on e1 is not doing anything either. So I could play a move like rook a3 maybe. And then be ready for b5, then I'll be able to take it. Yeah, let's do that. I can take it and then double the rooks here, attack this weaker pawn. And the bishop on h2 I need to bring into the game relatively quickly. I misplayed the opening, and I'm pretty sure he's if anyone's better, it's him for most of the game. Mamedyarov has such a killer playstyle. Yeah, similar to myself. Very tactical player. Duck chess GM. That could be a thing in the future. Terrifying player to play against? For me, not at all. I've had way more troubles facing Kamer and other positional players. Or Alexyenko or Ivanchuk, even though I beat Alexyenko and Ivanchuk. And they drew Mamedyarov, but still it was... like, Ivanchuk outplayed me and I won by luck. Only speaking of classical over the board games. And Alexyenko misevaluated something, so I beat him and Mamedyarov, but against Mamedyarov I had a winning position. The most easily. Then, okay, it's my own fault that I didn't win it, but you get the point. Okay, so this was my plan. Now he will probably go here to attack the pawn, but I intended to go rook a2. And the king feels very safe here, my king, and even though the structure is, well, as it is. But if I can go rook a2, then maybe I'll be threatening rook a6 next move. I think Chucky is a better player than Mamedyarov. Mamedyarov has a higher peak rating. Well, in general, I think Ivanchuk is the strongest player who has never become a world champion, in my eyes. That's of course debatable, and countless players like Korchnoi, Mamedyarov, Caruana can be said about them, but I don't know. Have a lot of respect for Ivanchuk. MVL is better than Fischer because his rating was higher? No, of course not. I don't think it's about rating at all. Fischer is someone who is underestimated often, maybe even because of his personality. He was an amazing player. I learned so much from him. Okay, now this rook is annoying. I want to get rid of it, actually. I want to get rid of it with rook b3. For example, if he goes king h8, rook b3, take, rook g8, I think I can normally go rook g1. No, I can't go rook g1. There's bishop d4. Yeah, this knight is very stupid. Supposed to play something else. Maybe I was supposed to play bishop here and put the bishop on f2 and then after king h8, rook g8, go rook g1. Maybe I should still go rook b3, take, rook g8, queen c2 and no harm done. Yeah, this rook is annoying because it's on the b file. Let's get rid of it. What is the duck method, Ingo? I don't know what that is. My chessable outer profile literally says you never worked hard until you got to IM. No, it's not about. It's not that. It's not very true if you read my interviews. I've started working hard when I was like 2150. But I didn't put my chessable outer profile. Someone else, the chessable guys did it. I didn't. I have no control of what's written there. Of course, I have looked at Ivanchuk games. You can learn really a lot from them. The most terrifying player would be Prime Kasparov. I think Prime Fischer, but of course it's very debatable. Okay, Ingo sent me what that is. I'll read it later. Have you ever met Tagan Mater? Not personally. I mean, I know who he is. He probably knows who I am. I don't think he ever analyzed any of my games on streams, but I don't know him personally. He's from a different part of Croatia. Protecting stuff. Bishop c3 I have to take with the pawn, of course. If it ever happens. But that's not a problem. Bishop h3 is also never a problem. Because it doesn't do much, even if I take, everything's covered. But I'm unsure about what my next few moves are. Maybe I can go queen d2 back. And then try to go rook g1, because the rook g1 would threaten knight e2 to attack this pawn. But if rook g1, there may be bishop d4. Okay, it's debatable if that's the best plan. I can also go rook d1, rook d2 to protect g2 in that manner, and then try to infiltrate with the queen, but I don't think the queen will do that much on that side of the board. Still a very complex strategical fight. Notorious G player. Korchnoi and Fischer are mentally ill. I mean, it depends. I'm someone who never likes judging people, because obviously I was born in 2000. I never met Fischer or anything like that, or heard or seen his interviews. I'm not the one to judge, but people always say that he had mental problems. Usually, people who have nothing else in their life except chess, it can become. That was the case with Fischer and maybe Korchnoi also. They maybe they care about it so much that maybe also the same thing is happening. The same thing is happening with Vladimir Kramnik, because he's basically witnessing the game he loved for so many years changing to a degree that you basically have to wonder if top players are cheaters. And he's of course very upset about that. And that's why he's doing things which I personally don't think are good. But he's frustrated, not knowing how to fight it. Okay, there's some threat actually. Can I go queen d2, this plan which I just mentioned? Queen d2. If bishop h3, gh, queen h3. Queen e2. Don't see it, I have to say. Can't really checkmate me with one piece. Rook g3, I don't think it's a problem. And now maybe knight e2 will actually be an alternative to consider. If not, then rook g1 first, and then knight e2. We'll see. Kramnik has become the craziest retired world chess champion. He's trying hard to compete with Fischer. No, I don't think it's about that at all. I don't think they're crazy or anything. I just think they have a different mindset, which is probably not ideal. But I mean, everyone will tell you that Kramnik is fighting for a good thing in general. The problem is when, for example, if you start accusing everyone of cheating, even honest players, or insinuate that they're cheating, they're actually making cheaters a favor, because everyone is suspicious, even good players, and you're making no difference between possible cheaters, past cheaters. But okay, I'm not the one to say on the topic. I stopped being anti-cheat moderator a long time ago, and the last over-the-board cheater I caught was 6 years ago. That was a long time ago. Now I'm just a player. The tactical grow up on g4. I don't know anything about those books. Maybe I should read them. Only chess books you'll ever pirate. Manchuk and Shiro games turn your game into Jello. It's hard to understand certain players' styles. Really hate playing against Benoni. What is this position? I have no idea what's going on here. It's probably somewhat balanced strategically, but I would always choose black. I think my opponent has been outplaying me. Kasparov looks like he has a more menacing aura, but also Fischer was taller. I don't know, hard to comment. Height doesn't matter as much when you're sitting in a chair. That's also true. For example, you might think Carlsen is quite tall, but in reality I'm taller than him. Hello, Pablo. No, I'm not playing against viewers, I'm just playing a competitive match, sorry about that. This is the last game. After that, I'll analyze the games quickly and end the stream for today. Until next time. Kramnik has a family, though. Yeah, Alex, sure, Kramnik, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that any of them was like crazy that they needed mental help or something. They just like people even underestimate when somebody is famous and people talk about them. That's happening with quite a lot of celebrities. They're like everyone's talking about them, everyone's judging them. They get quite a lot of positive feedback. They also get quite a lot of very negative feedback, maybe even threats sometimes. And it's very hard to keep your composure very often in these kind of situations. To my understanding, at least. The case for me as well. Which one? So that I'll be crazy or that I'll have a family? Alex's YouTube is extremely good. You can learn a lot, especially if you're a beginner player. So feel free to check out Alex Banzea, who is an international master from Romania. You feel free to check out his YouTube. You can learn really a lot there. Even I can learn quite a lot there, and yeah. Today's Kramnik is us in 20 years, just without the skill. Is my whole life chess tour. I mean, I went to the university. I was studying chemistry, but then I paused it or quit it in order to get a GM title, and now I'm considering whether I'll do coaching, playing, streaming, etc. professionally, or will I finish some university? And I'm also doing sports sometimes. I don't have a family or a girlfriend, but what to do? Chazard Camilo between 2500 and 2750 is almost unplayable. So. Yeah, also on Title Tuesdays, Candidate Masters are unplayable. How did I catch an over-the-board cheater? That was the European Youth Championship. I found a mobile phone in the toilet. He watches people going to the bathroom, don't judge. Okay, the trolls are here. Kramnik is trying to fight for a good cause, even though he's doing it in a bad way and being quite paranoid, yeah. Okay, I don't know that much about Bobby Fischer, so I don't want to judge. I don't want to say that he did have, that he didn't have. Magnus like 5'10". I don't know how much exactly he was. I want to judge anyone, especially people I don't know personally. Chess is all you need. Yeah, it's my move. No rook g3 has happened. I just want to make sure I read all the messages. Yeah, we blame Alex for our defeats in the c5 advanced carry. Okay, so rook g3 happened. And now, of course, my opponent's tempting me to take. Which I can and don't have to do. And if I take, queen g3 is not a problem, only fg. It's actually very interesting because then I can, for example, go queen h6, threaten checkmate in 1, and I think my opponent's idea is just king g8 and claim that my queen has 0 entry squares. He's probably right. Okay, if I don't do anything, what's my opponent's threat? Bishop h3. Maybe that. But even there I'm not sure, like bishop h3, gh, rook f3 or queen. I mean, I don't really see a big threat, honestly. There are several interesting moves. For example, this rook g1 idea, which I mentioned before, to go knight e2, but maybe I can go knight e2 even immediately. What happens if knight e2? Rook g2, king g2 takes. I mean, I think I can go king g1 there. And if queen f3, at least rook f1 or something. So, because the point of knight e2 is that the d4 square is covered, so after some takes and f4, bishop h3 takes king g1, this is covered with the knight in e2, even though then h2 is here. So knight e2, this is a very sensitive position. Maybe I can take and go knight e2 then, but then bishop h3, and then that stuff which I said is a problem. Bishop h3, g8 I don't believe in. Rook h3, rook g1, no wait, miscalculating, my head hurts a bit. Takes, g8, yeah, that's a problem. So knight e2 is probably no good. Gets really a lot of potential. So maybe I'm supposed to play rook g1. That's a very prophylactic move. But still it has an idea of knight e2, because when the rook is here, my king is way safer. Rook g2 will be an option and all of that. I think that's best. And bishop d4? Well, there are several moves. First of all, there is knight e2, then bishop g1 can be followed with this, and then without this bishop, his king is also very weak. And also I can even move the rook maybe away, or do something else, but I think that's what I said is best with knight e2. But we'll see. Okay. If you watch his late life interviews, you can see Fischer had issues, but as a chess player, the guy was a genius. A chess player, that's something everyone will agree on. But yeah, I mean, I would need to watch many of the interviews if they exist on YouTube or somewhere. But, okay. I mean, in general, I really don't like to judge people, because you don't know what people are going through in their personal lives usually. Very often they will do some things they would never do if they're hurt or under pressure and stuff. And if somebody does something, even if they cheat online, maybe they're just trying to survive, to get some little bit of money, food, or something. But of course they can do it in 20 different or 20 better ways. And of course it's way harder not to judge if they did something wrong against yourself personally. But yeah. Okay, everyone has their own take on it. He went completely crazy? Wow. If you probably know better than me getting worse. Chess 960 is Fischer's greatest contribution to chess, and I will die on that hill. I 100% agree. I'm also waiting for 960 tournaments to start happening. Yeah, I'm not really sure. For example, even if I go knight e2 next move, if he plays some random move, a5, I go knight e2, I'm not 100% sure what my next move is. Because if I take here, then bishop h3 is going to be a threat. I'm not in time with f4. Okay, he goes rook g7. Okay, wait. What's that about? Now I can go knight e2, no? And force rook f7. Or is the point son queen f2? Okay, I don't really believe him. If he goes queen f2, I think at least I can go bishop f4, and if takes queen e2, I can at least force a perpetual, and maybe I can start taking the pawns too. And probably perpetual is fine. Queen e1 is something I can't play, probably, to get rid of the queen, because then there would be rook g2. But, okay, he goes rook f7. And okay, now I should probably do something on this side of the board. Now the attack has been stopped for now. And for example, I move like b4 to open things up. Feels like it makes a lot of sense to me. He wants queen f2 though. b4, queen f2. bc5. C. Okay, let's make a move. Time is also a factor here, or at least it's going to become one. Let's do something, because my queen also can attack here in the future from this side. Increment is pretty cool as well. You're a dirty flagger, so no. Yeah. It's amazing, like, can't even count how many times I've been flagged by, for example, Hikaru, Danya, or Magnus and that equivalent games. Can't even count on my... Yeah. Poison pawn neither. Okay, wait, c4? Can I go rook c1 now and rook c4? Or is that too much? I don't know, but I think I can play it. Several reasons for that. First of all, I want to take the pawn if I can. Secondly, I want bishop g1, bishop d4 to get rid of this bishops, and this my bishop in h2 will get a purpose. Even though it has a purpose in this position too, because it pins all the pieces to the square on f4. But yeah, if some queen f2 happens, now I can go bishop g1, so that's not a problem. Some rook g7 or something, then I can take f4. At least I hope I can take f4. I don't know then, Pablo. You will have to figure out the reason, but I don't know your games or anything. Hello to Legend of Compiling. Tried bomb clouds and early king moves and never got a comfortable position. I think I have 4 out of 4 in the database with e4, c6, king e2 on Title Tuesdays. Okay, wait, rook c7. So I can surely take a pawn. I mean, why not to take the pawn? Just bishop f4. If c3, this is a check. Can he go bishop h3 then? Bishop e5 d. I mean, I still don't believe in it. Okay, let's focus a bit more. Knight f4 might be, but then c3 comes. Okay, wait, let's think. Bishop f4, bishop h3. Like even g3 is something to consider, or bishop e5 d, then g3. Has to move the queen away, probably to f6. What's the right move? I'm almost 100% sure this is a winning position. Just need to understand why. Like when your instinct tells you something, you can't make it work. Okay, I will take that. We'll take on h3, no doubt about that. And now I need to be clever. Bishop e5 check d, should I include that or not? Probably yes. Then I can choose between g3 or some other moves. If queen e1 can work, then I would play that. But let's see, maybe it doesn't work. Queen e1, if it takes, then I'm happy. Then strategically it should be great. But if bishop g2, king g2, rook g7, knight g3. Some queen f4 probably he would play. The attack is strong. Some rook c4. It's hard decisions. This is when the games are decided in these kind of situations. Queen f6, threatening queen f3. Then I would probably have to play queen e3. Or queen c3, maybe that's stronger. Anyway, let's make a move. I had to make a move. I'm kind of tempted to go queen c3 to both attack and defend, because I'm creating a threat of f4 with this long diagonal being here. And also knight f4 could come at some point. And yeah, later I can go king h2, maybe rook f1. Then I'm just trying to play this strategically, not tactically. Bongcloud is unbeaten on GM level. Can't be that bad. My opponent is a grandmaster who is stronger than me. Yeah, I have a win against that guy there, indeed. Which I didn't deserve to win, but yeah. h4. Okay, that's a weird move. What after f4? So rook e7 is simply an idea. What if I go g4? How's that bishop getting out? So h5 he will play against that, right? Okay, let's make a move. My point is to go rook g1, and then f4 next move. I don't know if it's good. We'll see. I sacrificed the pawn. Who knows what's going on? There were surely better options for both him and myself in this game. But what to do? So f4. If bishop g4, then I can take f5. It's probably okay. Can go king h2 first, then to force bishop d7 or bishop c8. Maybe that's smarter. Let's do that. Some rook g7 I take and take h3 and g3 square is covered. I'll ignore the chat until the rest of the game. For the rest of the game, sorry for my broken English. Just trying to focus more. So f4, bishop g4. No, but then screwed up, because then f5. Wait, f5. Okay, let's make a move. f5, queen f2, I still have rook g2, I think. So he should go rook e7, probably. Now I can go rook g5, maybe. Rook g5. Bishop g4. Okay, I didn't see it. So to stop losing on time, I played f5 to stop the bishop, and it's a strategical move which will surely give me some options. So can I go now knight f4, rook g1? No, I can't. There are probably 20 better ways of playing this for both of us. So knight f4 takes queen g5. Now, of course, I have these two pawns against these two stupid pawns. Still, it doesn't have to mean much. If I can get rid of the queens and as many pieces as I can exchange, the more pieces I can exchange, the better. Rook g4. That's a good move. My last move was probably garbage. Competitive chess is hard, guys. Especially in time troubles like now. He wants this. Okay, so what? Wants queen b2 also. That was a mistake by me. That was a big mistake, I think. Why did I give up that pawn? That was a big mistake by me. You can go queen d6 now. I screwed up so badly. Screwed that up so badly. Queen d6, king h1, queen d7. Maybe I have queen h6. Maybe I can go queen h6 now, king g8, rook f1. Can take queen h5 too, but that's not what I want, surely. How did I play that so badly? I gave up 7 pieces. Now queen h3 is a threat. Now I'm actually going to lose this game. This was so winning for me. This is awful. This is really awful. Okay, I don't want to analyze this game. This was so bad that it's... How can I lose? How can I lose this position? Managed to lose 2 games in a row. How did I lose this position? I just trade the rooks and go knight. After rook g4 it wasn't that clean. So just queen h5, maybe not. Okay, I'm annoyed by this game, I have to admit, because I was totally winning. Oh, GM Alvar Alonso, surprising to see you here. Hello, greetings to GM Alvar Alonso. I wasn't sure. Yeah, long time no see. I didn't know that you're on Twitch. I'm also surprised to see you here too. Hope you're doing great. Yeah, knight f4 looks interesting. Queen c8, queen s6 should win there. Not sure, but fun. I mean, everything. I mean, I was supposed to win that game in 20 different ways, but what's the name of the GM you're playing? I can't say that. They wouldn't be secret training rapid matches otherwise. D7 was fine idea, then some queen h6, probably, yeah. Why is it a secret though? Because my opponent just wants to stay anonymous. For example, if he would ever get paired against GM Alvaro Alonso, he would know on an over-the-board game, these training games would help Alvaro. Equal match also not bad. Come on, I lost 2 games in a row. Like that past game, I don't even have any. I don't mind losing that past game. I played badly, but this game I mind losing because. So e4 was a mistake. Yeah, just didn't know the line well. Just didn't know the line well. Because this game I felt like I played relatively okay, and in the end I was surely winning. So yeah, this game I'm upset about definitely. But okay, what can you say? Chess is not fair. Interestingly enough, the engine just says take it and take the exchange and no harm done. Yeah, what is this game? Blunder, 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 blunder. According to the engine, everything is a blunder. All of the games, all of the moves here were blunders. So Queen e1 was even better. Ah, but with King f1. I did see it briefly, but I wasn't sure because this is, if you remember, I mentioned this briefly and then h4, and I wasn't sure with Rook g8. That seemed dangerous. That's why I played g3. But yeah, King f1 there, and nothing. Knight f4. I mean, 20 different ways to win this. If I just had more time, I would pretty sure win this game. But awful. And yeah, it gives clues about who he is. Yeah, your Benoni line. You can learn. Sorry, maybe I didn't want to say that. I wanted to say maybe he learned it from you. How many hours do I trade chess per day? I mean, always a few hours per day, at least 3. If I'm not doing anything. You see your opponent's best moves, but not your own. I know the feeling. Yeah. This game I'm annoyed by, I have to say, quite annoyed. You should look for more sharp ideas in time trouble. Okay, I guess it's better to lose training games than classical games, but how classical chess is going for me the past year is also relatively bad. But at least I hope it was more instructive for the audience than these 4 games were more instructive for the audience than me playing stupid Title Tuesday and then raging because of possible cheaters and everything else. Yeah, in rapid chess, so the accuracies are like 78%, 20 blunders on both sides. And then, yeah, of course that people will be suspicious when CMs in Title Tuesday in Blitz play with zero mistakes. Briefly, at least you tend to be passive? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Okay, the first 2 games I won time troubles, but... Well, Alvar, if you want to play some competitive matches, we surely can. I'm always open to play training rapid against GMs, no matter who the GM is. Just I haven't been doing it in a long time, and then I've started doing it again for like 3 months ago. 3 months ago or so, or 4 months ago, and also like I've played. Okay, the result now, me and my opponent is 36.5, 23.5. But I've only streamed 2 of those, so countless games have been not on stream, and I was done. I was never a CM, I was only an FM. No, GML Alonso was not my opponent in this match. I can say that. The rapid games are favorite. It's also my favorite thing to play. Have you played Macrophago recently? I don't think so. This was Hans Niemann. If this was Hans Niemann, I would not win a single game and I would not have a chance in any single game. Very fun match for me. Of course, it's better than Title Tuesday. There I just rage because of how it all is. Yeah, this game where I was white. What was the theory there? Bishop e7, bishop g2. I didn't remember after if this rookie won a move. Apparently it was relatively okay, but black immediately has a comfortable position. Then this rook c3. I think my opponent was tilted here. He was not supposed to take. And yeah, this part of the game I probably played okay with queen b4 and then just grinding out this endgame. This a5 stuff. Now this is an important factor. Like, yeah, king d4 or king d2, as you guys said, that may would have been better with this. And I wanted to immediately go for this, where I was sure that I will have a long grinding press, and then after g5 mistake. I don't believe that g5 is a mistake. Okay, just don't believe that. Okay, I mean, the more detailed analysis would be surely better. But I don't have that much time right now, and I will have to end the stream soon. Wait, I just don't believe this. Was this... The engine actually says this is holdable. I don't believe this. Okay, then I'm stupid for... I'm just stupid then. But okay. I can't analyze that in great detail because I'll have to go, but... Yeah, okay, you might figure it out soon. This I don't know. Like, here when I went for this sharp b6 stuff, okay. Yeah, this bishop e7 passive stuff I didn't want to play, so I played b6, allowing this structure. But yeah, bishop e2 was probably... No, bishop a2? That one I haven't considered. I thought that after bishop a2 I would be able to play something like this, but apparently it's bad. Yeah, that was the first game. What have I done wrong here? Here, this is a curious moment with this queen e4 and c4. The engine says I should have done that, but... rook d6 knight e4 is good for me, and rook a1 is... Yeah, but okay, b5 was also interesting, and what have I done wrong here, actually? Knight f6? Or rook d7 first? Okay, knight f6 was fine. Here I made some horrible blunders. The queen c2 was unneeded. Wait, how was knight d5 working? Ah, this I didn't see. This I didn't see. Yeah, knight c3 I didn't see. Had I seen that, I would go knight d5 immediately. Here, again, time trouble was a problem. And yeah, this equal rook endgame. Just when he allowed this king e5, I was extremely surprised. And then, yeah, just probably over. Okay, I hope you guys had fun here. And I don't know if I'll play another Training Rapid match. I'll probably stream it in the next couple of days. And I might stream that event, the thematic event on the, which was 2 weeks ago on the Italian game. This, like on Sunday, is going to be another one. 3+2 anti-cheating will exist at this tournament, so I might play it. And it will be about the Sicilian Rosolima thematic tournament. So on Sunday, I will probably play and stream that. And other than that, probably nothing. I don't know. Never too late to find a different hobby, something less frustrating, if you say so. Gelfand Dominguez seems like a good game. Knight c3 is a move that's sparkles. I didn't see it. Yeah, okay, cheers guys. Let me see who I will raid you to. Just 1 second. Or do you have a preference? I don't know if you have a preference for who to stream. Or who to rate, sorry. Okay, if you don't, then... Is this the correct username? I think so. Oh, it doesn't... Its rate settings do not allow you to rate it this time? Okay, then wait. Wait just a second. Okay, let's rate Sophie Davis Chess, because she rated me in one of my earliest streams. And yeah, I do hope to see you guys. You can always subscribe and support to my YouTube if you like. You'll also be able to see this match there. And have a great day and the rest of the week. Bye bye.